Okay guys, I'm going to be beginning a new video series here with the aim of bringing awareness of the Pokemon fan-made hacks to newer generation fans who might be more used to the games associated with the 3DS and the Switch, so more recent systems. So here we have Pokemon Dark Rising. Um, I do not own the Pokemon franchise. That is Nintendo's copyright, and I do not own this game either. I'm just playing it. I will include some information on the creator and the creation of this game in the video description box below. So Pokemon Dark Rising was made using Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green as a base. And so all the graphics and some of the sprites that you might see are based on Pokemon Fire. A lot of the mechanics of the game are based on Pokemon Fire Red, which I will get into some detail in this video. The purpose of this video is not the start of the Let's Play per se. It's more to give a teaser and to provide a sense of what the game is really about. So let's go in here. The actual intro screen is the same as Fire Red, but it comes to this modified screen over here. So we are in a completely new region called the core region. The objectives remain the same. You are attempting to go all around the region, defeat the 8 Pokemon gyms, capture as many as you can, or as many as you'd like, and defeat the Elite Four. But the game is a lot more than that. It is challenging. It'll require a fair bit of training, and you're going to see, just what kind of variety in terms of Pokemon is on offer as I proceed here. So I'm going to unpause the emulation. You do have to play this game through an emulator and ROM. It's pretty easy to figure out, not that challenging. So I'm going to go ahead here, especially if you're handy with computers. You shouldn't have much difficulty figuring out how this works. So I'm just going to load a my previous run. So I have never finished this game, simply because of my approach, which you'll see um, in a bit. But I'm not going to be using the saved file as a recording. You are going to see me start the game out fresh. And apart from what I do know about the game, I don't plan on using guides that much. So I am just going to blunder into a lot of things. And so you guys are free to have fun at my expense, and hopefully that gives you some entertainment, and also kind of shows back in the day when we didn't have much access to internet, when we didn't have much access to guides, like what we did to complete the games that we loved. So here I am in a Pokemon Center. Um, Before I show you exactly the kind of Pokemon on offer, uh, you do have to keep this in mind. I have only defeated 2 gyms, so that is going to give you some context into just how many Pokemon. You can already kind of see it there. I have 184 card. The money is also due to me just rematching a lot of trainers through the VS Seeker. So if I go over to the PC and go to move Pokemon, go over to my first box. So there's a lot here, as you can see, that has to do with my approach to the game. I'm just planning, I don't have a team. I'm just planning on catching everything, training everything, and using what's most helpful in the area. Like I mentioned, this game is challenging, it's not easy to beat, and I figured having more variety was better than less. So as you can see here, there are Pokemon all the way from Generation 1 to Generation 5. That would be Black, White, Black 2, and White 2 on the Nintendo DS. So I've got Arcanine, Darmanitan, Milotic, Steelix, Aron, as just a simple consideration of everything from Gen 1 through to 5. Actually, I didn't cover Gen 4 here, so that would be. Do I have anything from Gen 4 here? Yeah, Ambipom. Okay, so a few things to talk about here. First thing is the stones. The stones are very easy. The evolutionary stones are very easy to get. You just have to make it to the town. Each town, like one town's gonna sell water stones in their mart, another town's gonna sell thunderstones. So you just make it to the requisite town. You buy the stone from the mart, and if you have the Pokemon that requires it, use it as and when you'd like, as I've done on Growlithe here to evolve it. Second thing is the Pokemon learn kind of weird moves that they wouldn't normally learn in the traditional games. So as you can see here, Outrage and Dig, I didn't teach these. I believe they're egg moves, so they just learn them upon level up at random times. Another great example of this is my Swampert here, who's learned Ice Punch and Mirror Coat by itself. So one thing you have to keep in mind is because this game is built on Fire and Leaf Green, the special attack physical attack split that took place in Generation 4, that would be Diamond Pearl and Platinum, hasn't taken place yet. So what do I mean by that? Every single ground move is a physical attack. Yes, even though Mudshot is normally a special attack in the more recent games. All ice moves are physical attacks, even though this clearly says Ice Punch. So you have to... all ice type moves are special attacks. Not physical attacks, special attacks. So you have to keep in mind that when you are designing, your teams, your move sets, everything, you're gonna have to go by this sort of like one type one type as in one set of physical, one set of special all the time. You're not gonna get necessarily the kind of variety that you saw or the sophistication that you saw in the move set that you will see in the more recent games. The next thing to talk about will be the tradables. So the guys that normally evolve upon trading, Kadabra, Alakazam, Gurdurr into Conkeldurr, they don't require training anymore. So they just evolve upon level up at level 40, which I thought was a fantastic mechanic to include in this game, because it gives you access, especially to a lot of us who didn't have people who played the game readily available, or trading facilities. Back in the day you would need the link cable, and convincing your parents to buy them for you was another thing. So it gives you access to these Pokemon. This is coincidentally the very first game that I ever had a gold. I had never managed to trade Graveler for Golem ever. And yeah, even a lot of the like Gliscor here, normally you gotta have it hold the Razor Fang and level it up at night. Because there's no time system in this game, the Razor Fang it exists as an item, but it acts like a stone. So you just use it on Gligar whenever, and it'll evolve. Another thing you might notice is I have the starters, and you saw Swampert in the previous page. The starters all exist as catchable Pokemon in this game. They are difficult to find, they are difficult to catch, but they are obtainable. So that gives you quite a bunch of strong Pokemon to include on your team straight up. Another thing you might notice is I have 2 Victinis. Why do I have 2 Victinis? Because I am playing an earlier version of this game. There were a few glitches, and I was able to, abuse some of them. So Victini is gifted to you by a person in this game, and yes, it does come holding a Sacred Ash. I have only trained this one, but I had some fun and I picked up a couple. And yeah, so just like I mentioned, the sheer variety on offer. And I'm not even in the 3rd gym. All my guys are level 45. That should tell you something about the difficulty of the game, the amount of grinding you do have to do. That can be kind of a turn-off to some people. But the benefit of exploring a new region, seeing these Pokemon up here at totally random spots, which is pretty funny to know, actually. And yeah, you can get all the evolutions in this game. So I think I evolved my Eevee into Espeon using a Sunstone. The other stones are obviously available, and I evolved Eevee to Umbreon using a Moonstone. So that's something to note. the shiny Pokemon are available in this game. That mechanic has been retained, as you can see in this Fat Rat. And one last thing I'd like to talk about here is the starters. So you might have heard me mention, the starters are catchable Pokemon, but the ones that you actually start with in the game. So they are actually the 3 Dragon Pseudos from Generation 1 to 4. So Dratini, Bagon, and Gible are your options in the beginning. And despite that, it is still challenging. So I promise you that you're going to have a lot of fun with this game. This is not going to be your typical Pokemon game that you can just get by very easily with items. No. Your experience is going to be something completely different. So, do go and check out the creator, which again I will post in the video description. Do see what projects they're getting involved with. Check out other hacks. Try it, for someone who's looking for a little bit of a different, Pokemon gaming experience. The fan-made hacks can be a great choice. So yeah, look forward to the next video, and for now that'll be all. Thank you guys. Have a great day.